Do you have a plan B in case the internet fails? Hey everyone, welcome back to Big What If. Today, we're diving into a mind-boggling scenario. What would happen if the internet suddenly went offline for an entire month? It's something we all take for granted, but just imagine, no social media, no emails, no shopping, no work from home, no news, nothing. How could this even happen, and what chaos would unfold? Let's talk about how this could go down.
Breaking news: the United States is experiencing a massive cyber attack, resulting in a complete nationwide internet outage. All major networks are down, affecting communications, banking, and vital services. Authorities are investigating the origin of the attack. Could it be Iran, Russia, or China behind this unprecedented disruption? The government has yet to confirm any details, but cybersecurity experts warn that the attack could have far-reaching consequences. Stay tuned as we continue to monitor the situation.
It's not all that far-fetched. Cyber attacks are more sophisticated than ever. A major hack could knock out critical internet infrastructure or cloud services. Natural disasters, think hurricanes, earthquakes, or even a massive solar flare, could wipe out data centers or fiber optic cables. And let's not forget geopolitical tensions. If countries were to target each other's digital infrastructures, we could see parts of the internet go dark for weeks. A month of total internet blackout could affect everyone, from the US to Europe, Africa, Asia, and beyond. It's time to explore how this would play out in real life, so keep watching, and if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to Big What If to never miss a crazy scenario like this. 1. Workplace chaos. Let's start with work. In 2023, over 70% of US workers rely on cloud-based tools to get things done: email, project management software, and even file storage. Imagine the entire corporate world grinding to a halt because those tools are unavailable. No Google Docs, no Slack, no Zoom meetings. It's going to be chaos. Now, think about the size of the losses. Big companies like Amazon or Apple make billions every year through online services, and their entire business model relies on the internet. Without it, their supply chains would collapse, customer service would plummet, and transactions would be impossible. In fact, Amazon makes about $1.6 billion in daily sales. Without the internet, that's money down the drain every single day. Smaller businesses, too, would face massive challenges. Small business owners who depend on e-commerce platforms like Shopify or Etsy would have no way to communicate with customers, process orders, or make sales. And if you're wondering about your own job, well, if you're working remotely, the internet being down means you're probably out of work for the time being. Tasks that used to take a few minutes now turn into hours: phone calls, paperwork, or even just catching up with coworkers face-to-face. What do you think? Would your workplace survive this disruption? Let us know in the comments below. 2. Education disrupted. Now, imagine being a student or a teacher during this internet shutdown. Online learning has skyrocketed in the past few years, especially with the pandemic, and it's not just for universities or high schools. In the US, 15 million K-12 students rely on online platforms like Google Classroom to do homework, attend classes, and connect with teachers. And that's just one country. Globally, billions of students would suddenly be unable to attend virtual classes or access educational resources online. Take a moment and think about the impact on teachers. 2. No more lesson plans uploaded to Google Drive. No more virtual teaching platforms, no way to connect with students. The educational system would come to a grinding halt, and many would need to rely on paper textbooks and phone calls to parents for updates on students' progress. In higher education, things would look even worse. Many universities around the world have digitized almost every aspect of their curriculum. Assignments are submitted online, research papers are stored on databases, and student communication takes place through email or specialized platforms. Without internet access, universities would have to return to paper-based methods. In fact, you might even see students resorting to old-school methods like handwritten essays and physical libraries, if those are even accessible. So, what would you do as a student or teacher in this situation? Let us know in the comments. How do you think we'd manage without the internet for a month? 3. Economic chaos. What happens when commerce comes to a standstill? A complete internet shutdown would severely disrupt the global economy. E-commerce is now a cornerstone of modern business. According to recent statistics, the US e-commerce market is worth more than $1 trillion annually, and Amazon alone takes in over $1.6 billion per day in online sales. Without the internet, those transactions stop. Your online purchases? Gone. Your credit cards or online bank transfers? Also gone. The global supply chain, which relies heavily on the internet for tracking goods and payments, would be severely affected. In fact, the stock market itself could come to a halt. Today's financial markets are completely automated, with trading happening almost instantaneously through digital platforms. If these platforms were offline, stock prices wouldn't update, transactions couldn't happen, and financial institutions would be left scrambling. We could see a significant economic slowdown and possibly a recession as businesses lose revenue, consumer spending drops, and uncertainty grows. Not only would businesses lose money, but also the services that rely on the internet, such as delivery companies, streaming services, and digital content creators, would all see their profits plummet. Do you think this scenario would trigger a global recession? Comment your thoughts below. 4. Personal chaos. On a personal level, things would get wild. Banking would be one of the most noticeable areas of disruption. Over 65% of Americans rely on online banking, and millions of people use digital wallets, PayPal, Venmo, and even cryptocurrency. Without the internet, you wouldn't be able to check your balance, transfer money, or even access ATMs that rely on network connections to verify transactions. You'd be stuck with cash, and if you don't have cash, you're out of luck. Let's not even get started on shopping. Online shopping is now a way of life for millions, and if you want to buy anything, you'd be out of luck. Imagine not being able to buy groceries, clothes, or even gadgets, with stores operating at limited capacity or unable to process payments. Without the internet, delivery services, including Amazon, Uber Eats, or grocery delivery, would shut down. You'd have to rely on traditional, offline methods to get your essentials, which could be quite a hassle. Then, there's social media. For the millions of people who connect with friends, family, and communities through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok, this would be a huge loss. Not only would you lose access to social networking, but you'd also lose your news feeds and updates. Life would become a lot quieter, and many people would struggle to adjust. So, how would you cope without the internet for a month? Would you feel lost without social media and online shopping? Share your opinions in the comments. We want to know what you think. 5. Healthcare mayhem. Last but certainly not least, healthcare. We don't often think about how much healthcare relies on the internet, but in today's world, digital health records, telemedicine, and patient management systems are all essential parts of the process. In the US, hospitals store millions of patients' records online, and telemedicine services have become a critical way for doctors to reach patients in remote areas. Without the internet, patient data could be inaccessible, treatment plans could be delayed, and some appointments would be cancelled. Consider a scenario where a medical emergency happens and the hospital can't access a patient's medical history because the digital records are offline. A simple procedure could become much more complicated, or a patient might face life-threatening delays. And for telehealth consultations, what happens if patients can't see their doctors virtually or get advice remotely? It could put a strain on emergency rooms and local clinics, causing long wait times and overcrowding. This scenario would put a huge strain on healthcare systems around the world, and even basic medical services could suffer. If you're in a country with weaker healthcare infrastructure, the lack of internet could delay treatments, making it even more dangerous. How to prepare for an internet-less world? So, what can you do to prepare for such a scenario? Here's some advice. 1. Download important information. Have physical backups of important documents, files, and contacts. Keep hard copies of your passwords, financial information, and emergency contacts. 2. Use offline communication. Prepare to rely on phone calls, in-person communication, or traditional mail for essential interactions. 3. Stock up on essentials. If shopping becomes a hassle, make sure you have a stockpile of non-perishable food, medicine, and supplies that can last you a month. 4. Offline entertainment. Download movies, books, and other entertainment for the offline days. You don't want to go stir crazy. 5. Relearn basic skills. It's a good time to brush up on offline survival skills, read a book, write by hand, or learn how to navigate without GPS. Wrap up. An internet shutdown for a month would disrupt our entire world. Work, education, economy, personal life, and healthcare would all be affected in ways we can't even fully predict. Myself, I will lose my job as a content creator. But what do you think? Would we be able to adapt, or would chaos reign? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Big What If for more thought-provoking scenarios. Stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next video.